Through the summer, the grizzly mother has been teaching her cubs how to navigate the challenges of their modern grassland home. As grizzlies reclaim their prairie territory, they come into contact with people more often than ever before.
I moved here in 2003, and it was probably a year or two before we ever saw a bear after I moved here. And my husband grew up here, and he said it was unheard of to see a grizzly on Birch Creek.
Trina Bradley's family cattle ranch is on the front lines of bear-human relations on the grasslands today.
Do we have a halter for whiskey?
Just as the grizzly cubs need to learn how to live on their new grassland home, Trina is teaching her daughter Cadence how to get along with grizzly bears in their backyard.
It's a different world for kids that live up here where there's bears. A couple years ago, we had a calf that was orphaned, and so we just had it in here by itself because we had nothing else to put in with it, and a bear did come in and kill it. And Cadence was actually the first one into the corral. And, you know, had the bear still been here, I mean, that's pretty serious. She was only probably 6 then, so she was just a tiny little girl.
Mom, do you like how I did her hair?
A lot of people assume that we hate bears, and that's not the case. We need to conserve this land because at some point I want to hand it down to my daughter, so I need to take care of it. And in taking care of it, we're also taking care of everything that lives here, not just our cows and horses. And I enjoy having wildlife, and I think it's important, and I don't want to see any species die out. And so if that means that we have to adjust the way that we do things a little bit in order to accommodate them, then I feel like that's our job.
There are simple but effective ways people like Trina have adapted to having grizzlies in their backyard.
Most of the bears around here know what electric fences are because there's fences around like all the beehives and chicken coops, and so they immediately are like, oh, yeah, better not touch that, it's hot.
Trina and her family also regularly deploy remote cameras to track local bears' movements close to their house.
Okay, so I think if we go about here, we should be able to get any action right there. That's good. Okay, hold this. Hold this so I can tie it up. Growing up on a ranch is the best. She's got all these experiences that town kids don't get to have, and it's absolutely worth living with bears. Look at his claws. Holy cow.
Those are huge.
Yeah, those are really long. I feel safer living out here with bears than I would in the city. And there's plenty of food on this creek for them to eat besides livestock. They're fat and happy here without ever having to even look at our cows. So really, aside from the few problem bears, the rest of our bears are more than welcome to be here.
This mother and her cubs will soon settle in for winter hibernation. But their future on the grasslands is uncertain. It depends on people willing to share this amazing landscape with wildlife. This small family of bears may represent the start of a new era of recovery for this wild and wonderful place.